Hey everyone, I am your astrologer, Wonder Girl, taking you to new heights. Here is your daily forecast for the day of Wednesday, April 25th, 2018. Now what we've got going on today is the moon hanging out right here in Virgo. When the moon is in Virgo, that brings our attention to our job, our daily routines, what it is that we do on the day-to-day, as well as getting our work done. Also, Virgo rules health, so thinking more about our health. What else comes in? Strategy and planning, just kind of processing things in our mind in some way so that we can figure out how to add all the pieces up together to do some things we want and need. Okay, so that's what we're focusing on with the moon here in Virgo. Now, late yesterday and into today, we had this moon in Virgo in a trine with the sun here in Taurus, and I actually think it was very positive for us around midnight this morning to start to feel like perhaps we are making some progress to do the things that it is that we want and need, to move towards some things that are important to us in a more stable and secure kind of way. Okay, so I think it was a positive thing. Also, as well, what we could get in here with this trine perhaps is us becoming more confident with our plans, with our life, now that we're mulling things over. Okay, we could be doing that, as well as figuring out how to use more of our gifts, our skills, our talents in order to do some of the things that it is that we need. All right, and I think it was a positive thing from yesterday into today, really feeling like we're starting to make progress, moving forward, processing things in our mind in a way that is stable, secure, brings more confidence to us, and just works better all around. Okay, that's what's happening there. Then the moon moves further throughout Virgo, and at 6 a.m. Mountain Time, it comes into a trine here with Saturn and Capricorn. Again, I see that being another positive thing, really helping us to start to feel like after we've been putting in the work earlier in the day, using more of our gifts and skills and talents, feeling more confident. I think this trine at 6 a.m. is going to help us to start feeling like we're putting our life in the right direction. We're doing the things that are important to us that we need in order to move forward, increase our reputation, our social standing, and put our life in the place that it is that we want, okay? So I actually really like this a lot with both of these trines, starting around midnight last night, coming into about 6 a.m. this morning with Saturn. What this is going to make is a grand Earth trine, because the moon, as it moves throughout Virgo, is going to trine both the sun in an Earth sign, both Saturn in an Earth sign, and then the Saturn and the sun are kind of trining each other. Okay, and I like to think Earth trines are very positive to help us do the things that it is that we need to do in a very practical way. Okay, Earth trines aren't super excitable, aren't super like passionate and lively kind of things, but they are practical, and they are dedicated and disciplined, and they will get things done, okay, in a way that I like to think is going to feel much easier than it has before. It's going to run much more smoothly. So I think even if things aren't crazy exciting coming in yesterday into today, I think we're at least going to start to feel like we're bringing more security, more stability to our life, doing some things that it is that we need to do in a really practical way, even if our results aren't super showy yet, okay? So that's what I see happening there. Then after that, the moon is just going to hang for quite a few hours until 5 p.m. Mountain Time. And what's going to happen then is, as the moon moves through Virgo, it's then going to oppose Neptune. Okay, with that, of course, whenever I mention Neptune, can bring up confusion here about your plan, about your strategy, about the work that it is that you're doing. Coming in. Maybe there was a lot of progress being made early this morning, feeling much better at everything, feeling like it was much easier to do the things that maybe you've struggled with lately, and then perhaps we get to 5 p.m. at night and you feel a little bit confused, not sure if some of the progress if you're making is right, coming in. Also with the opposition to Neptune, maybe you could feel like now that you've done a lot of work and put a lot of things in, maybe you could feel like you're just neglecting some things going on inside you, maybe needing to take a step back, coming in here at 5 p.m. to just check in with yourself while you're doing a lot of work, while you're making a lot of things happen. Maybe at 5 p.m. just needing to check in with yourself spiritually, emotionally, intuitively, to make sure that some of your needs are being taken care of so that you can proceed with this Virgo moon here, taking care of some details and strategizing and planning, okay? So that's what happens there. I don't, however, think this moon in an opposition with Neptune is going to be too bad, because even though the moon is in this opposition, we do also have Jupiter coming into a trine with Neptune. Saturn as well, even though it's going retrograde, is kind of within reach of Neptune as well. So even if there are some confusion or some things that maybe come in at 5 p.m. about what you're feeling inside, I think if you just take a step back and think about things, there's a lot of help here to help you feel better today about what's going on. All right, another reason why I think you will feel okay with this opposition in Neptune is because at midnight, the end of today into tomorrow, as the moon comes off of this opposition to Neptune, it also makes a sextile over here to Jupiter, which is very pretty, okay? And I think what that's going to give you at midnight is a chance for you to start to understand your life better, to feel better about your life, about the things that you're doing, the changes that you're making, about things going on with you. Maybe even a little bit with Scorpio too, maybe feeling better about some of your deep intimate relationships or some of your money matters coming in here too. So I do see some good positive things actually going on today. Maybe it's you putting some of the work in earlier in the day that's helping you to feel much better about some of the changes that you're making, because maybe you're starting to feel like you're making more progress, doing the things that you need to move forward. All right, so I just like it. Just need to take a step back to check in with yourself a little bit in the afternoon. Then the last thing I'm going to mention is just going to happen early tomorrow, and that's going to be at 3 a.m. tomorrow morning. And what's going to happen then is that the moon is going to move further through Virgo, and it's going to make a trine to Mars and Pluto. Okay, and that could definitely bring up, with Moon, Mars, Pluto contact, some very intense feelings after we were feeling better yesterday. Perhaps some big changes that it is that we're making in our life and where it is that we're putting our life, the life direction. But I don't know, I'm just feeling positive about this today, especially with the trine going on, the to Mars and Pluto, especially with the grand Earth trine we had earlier today. I think what could come in very early tomorrow morning is a chance for us to finally feel like we're changing our life for the better and we're making progress working towards it. Okay, so I like to think it's going to be good. If any uncomfortable feelings do start to creep in the very end of today and into tomorrow, maybe again with all of this earth energy, just needing to ground yourself, to regroup, to get a better strategy and plan in place to help you deal with a big transition that I think we are all undergoing. All right, so that's what I'm going to leave with you there. Now for the other stuff going on in the background, what we do have the sun in a trine with Saturn, which I mentioned a little bit because the moon is triggering this spot, and the sun in a trine with Saturn is here giving you more dedication, more discipline to achieve the things that it is that you want or need to achieve, to put your life in a better place, to feel more confident about where your life is going and to move forward on it. I know dedication and discipline can sound a little bit boring, but the trine here I think is going to make it happen a lot easier for you. If you just take the step here to do some things that you need, I think it's going to be a lot easier than maybe it feels, looks, appears on the surface. Okay, we also do have Venus, which just moved into Gemini in a sextile with Chiron. I think saying that relationships too, conversations with other people, maybe even conversations about money, really can help you to start to feel better about yourself and can give you more of that insight about who you are and what you need to move forward, and perhaps how it is you can build and create something that's important to you with the Sun-Saturn trine coming in. Okay, Mercury as well in a square with Saturn. So even though I think we're getting more insights about what we need to do to feel better, having good conversations with relationships about money, moving forward, creating something, there could be some difficult, more serious undercurrents beneath some of these conversations. Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing because you've got Venus and Gemini, the sign of communication, in a very positive spot with Chiron, but then we have the ruler of Venus, Mercury, in a square. So I think people are helping us to process things. The more we can communicate, helping us to understand what's going on with us, but perhaps there being some very serious undercurrents to the things that it is that we are communicating about in some way. Okay, with the Mercury square Saturn with Venus in a Mercury ruled sign in positive aspect. Okay, and just needing to have the hard conversations. I've been saying this for a while, needing to think long term, think very seriously, especially when it comes to your relationships, in order to move forward. Okay, so yeah, you may have a lot of hard decisions you need to make, a lot of big things weighing on you. Maybe it's kind of hard to communicate about these things in relationships, but I think perhaps if you make this step to open up about the things that are important to you, and if you're serious about these things, maybe careful with the way that you say things as well, I think there are some insights that you can get, for better or for worse, about what your next steps are so that you can move in the right direction. Okay, yeah, that's kind of interesting. Another thing going on is Mercury, after it comes off this square to Saturn, making a trine to the North Node. So even if some conversations that you're having are hard, are very serious, having to make some big commitments, some decisions about things going on, maybe about relationships and money, I think, again, if you just have the conversations, if you just talk to people, there'll be an opportunity for you to start to feel much better, more relieved afterwards, like you're doing something that's important to you, okay? So I see that going on there. Yeah, very interesting with the Venus-Mercury thing going on. It's like, I think relationships are giving us some good insights, but then perhaps it's us taking those insights, moving on them, committing to them. Perhaps that could be the hard thing in trying to work out some of the details with relationships. But it being good if we allow ourselves to do some of that stuff, make the hard decisions. Yeah. Another thing, we do have Mars in a conjunction with Pluto. Again, we're making some big changes in our life here. Perhaps relationships are helping us to understand what changes we need to make, needing to commit to these changes that we're making and start to work towards them in a more dedicated and disciplined way to get to the top of the mountain, here to build the things that it is that we want. All right, any changes that we're making to our life direction, also being very good for you with Jupiter, okay? The sextile to Jupiter. And then the last thing, maybe I want to mention Jupiter as well, coming into a trine here with Neptune, now that all these planets are going retrograde. So I think even though we're at like a big change, turning point, portal right now in our life, where we're stepping into some big changes that we've been working on for some time, I think if we can have the hard conversations or work with other people to understand more what's going on with us, I think we're going to get some insights about what we need to do so that we can commit to our journey and move forward on it. And I think the more that we change our life to be more of what we want, commit to it, we're going to start to feel with this trine to Neptune coming in more peace inside, like we're doing what needs to be done, like we're creating a life that really resonates with us, like we're overcoming the past here and doing more of what we want and need to move forward in a more holistic kind of way, okay? So I do see, even if there are some hard things going on, I really do see a lot of good things underneath the surface. We're finally beginning to step into this new, different life that we've been working on for some time, and it's just a matter, I think, of working out some of the details here, figuring out who's coming with us, who isn't, how they're coming with us, in what way, how we're going to rearrange our money so that we really can set ourselves up the best for success and move forward in some direction that hopefully can help us become more of the person that it is that we ultimately want to be, okay? So that's what I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching my horoscope. If you like it, please like it on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, share with your friends, and I will talk to you later.